Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad that you are joining me today. Do I sound like Frank? Well, I'm here for the Last American Pubcast. It's Tom from America Floats. I wanted to share this with you from the Post Millennial. They have from the Associated Press some clarifications on what is and isn't torture. And just to get ahead of ourselves here, it both is and is not torture to commit a gender mutilation surgery upon a person. For the left, they don't necessarily define a child as being a real person, which is how they're allowed to abuse and otherwise torture and mutilate a child. But in this case, they're going to tell you it's actually torture to not do the surgery on a child. They say the AP, that's the Associated Press, is declaring that gender confirmation surgeries, rather, are good for U.S. kids, but not for adults. It's torture for an adult male, but it's good for a young boy or girl. They say the AP indicates that it is not only torture to change the legal status without gender surgery. You got to do both. You can't just call him a girl and not cut his penis off. But the surgery itself is torture. Not providing the surgery to a child, also torture. I know, they've written it kind of oddly. They say a very bizarre article comes out from the AP this week detailing the accounts of trans-identified individuals in Singapore who are not able to change their gender markers on their IDs and legal documents without first undergoing the torture of sex change surgeries, something that the AP Style Guide calls gender affirming or gender confirmation surgery. While the AP lauds these surgeries in the United States and declares that these lawmakers cannot stand in the way of these surgeries being committed upon people who otherwise can't consent, they claim that in other nations, lawmakers should not advocate for them. The AP indicates that not only is it torture to not just change the legal status without requiring surgery, but that the surgery itself is torture, and not providing the surgery also torture. You can imagine how this would confuse some people. They say the article complains that many governments do not recognize a person's trans identity unless they've undergone genital sex changes. I would almost agree. I'm not going to play into your dumb game until you've committed to it under the knife and as an adult, which the AP argues is unfair since those surgeries have an effect on reproductive sterilization. You don't say. These are the very same surgeries that the AP complains are being legally limited for minors, I think illegally limited, to minors in many states across the U.S. They want more American children to undergo this gender mutilation, the sex change. But for everyone else around the world, they say this is dangerous. It's sterilizing. It's torturous on the body. What about an American kid? Oh yeah, throw them right in the chopper. They say they're blaming states for not adopting fake gender identity allowances for the destruction of transition causes. James Lindsay told the Post Millennial. He says, it says the policies are dubbed torture. Truly amazing. They're doing a dialectical DARVO, a deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender, on the sterilization that comes with transition to blame it on states that won't give in to their demands for gender identity allowances. Now, when these surgeries are done on minors in the United States, apparently they are a wonderful and affirming thing, helping teens to realize their true selves. But even if those selves are no longer with the ability to create young people, they can't reproduce. But when done with the purpose of legal status changes in other countries, the AP brands that as torture. So I guess it's torture if you require it, but it's self-affirming and beautiful if you want it. And this is for children, adults, you name it. They don't care. Again, if you're an adult who just wants to have their ID reflect that they're a female without having to undergo genital mutilation surgery, you're not allowed in Singapore. They require you to lop it off before you can call yourself a girl. But here in the United States, we call that torture while doing it to the kids. Make that make sense. Let the rest of the people in your life know that seems odd. What do you make of that? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, grab links in the description below, and help us all keep America afloat.